Welcome back to today's studio session. And we are going to talk about setting intentions for the future growth of our lives. Yes, you heard that right. We don't only have to set future goals for our careers and our businesses and finances. We also need to make sure we know where the next things are going to come from. And when we plant seeds for what's to come, we know where we are heading. And if you are new here and watching our videos for the very first time, my name is Tanya, and I am on a mission to empower women so that they can live happier lives, relieved of stress and capable of dealing with problems in a mindful, creative way. Now, this intention or setting intention for our own future growth is a way for us to reflect on the areas of life that we want to nurture. These areas can be our career, of course. It can be our relationships. It can be personal growth. It can be a small goal, and it can be a really, really phenomenal goal. The idea here is that you identify the things that could become the seeds that you will plant for the next season of growth. It's about your future expansion or your future vision or what needs to come into your life, of course. And when we embrace the value of starting that new seed into something beautiful, we are creating almost like a baby, almost like a new thing that needs to be brought into the world. And in this opportunity that we are using from some of our own gift, skills, and abilities, we get to see something fresh, something new begin to blossom in our lives. That can often bring a new direction into your life and help you see what was in your path to begin with and what's beyond that struggle and beyond that point where you could possibly fall. So while we're talking about reflecting on these obstacles in our path, it's worthy to note that sometimes we've placed those obstacles there ourselves, and we are the ones that need to clear that out so that we can clear out space to make a space available for what's to come. Nothing can grow in a stagnant spot. We need to nourish our thoughts, nurture this little baby seed, and bring forth new routines that will help us see this thing throughout its longevity. And to do that, we need to break down these things in manageable steps. If you have a vision, it doesn't matter if it's big or small, you do get to choose the activities that you get to do to bring that thing to life. It's your commitment to seeing that seed grow. And you can only do that if you stay open to opportunities. It's when we have these opportunities in front of us, if you're not consciously aware of them, you can plant all the seeds you want, but you might miss when to water them, when to add something that might be missing, or when to plant the next seed so that whoever comes along on your journey can help you to grow those seeds. These partnerships lead to unexpected greatness that is a win-win-win. And I always use that phrase. It needs to be a win for them, a win for you, and a win for the people you are serving. So these things come together in a willingness to embrace something new. Now, your path may lead to things that you weren't expecting, and that's all right because growth takes place no matter what. And it's the rate of growth that you can steer in the right direction. And you need to practice patience and trust in the process, and keep your head in view of this thing you're creating. Don't get distracted by your phone. Don't go off on a tangent. And please, please, please make time to be still, to hear what you need, to find that thing in here that you can bring forth out into the world. There are so many distractions that are not helping you to fulfill your future harvest. And speaking of fulfilling future harvests, it's so easy to forget that we need to celebrate. Now, I don't celebrate every single little thing I did, but I do a little yippee, yippee, yay, yay dance when I've accomplished something. And even if it was a long to-do list at the end of the day, or if it was a difficult video I had to get out into the world, or if I had to start from scratch with the bare necessities. When I've accomplished that thing, I really make the effort to celebrate. And one of the ways I love to celebrate is to make my own homemade orange cheese. The whole family loves that, even though they don't really like the sweet candied orange slices on top. But I love that. It has a sweet, bitter loveliness to it, like marmalade. And that is beautiful for me. And of course, this is my celebration cake. So I can top it with whatever I want. And if they don't like it, they can scrape it off and eat the cheesecake pop. You have to make time for these small wins. And by baking yourself a cake, your favorite cake, is a beautiful way to celebrate this. It brings you right back to that mindful act, that creative process, and of course, something relaxing to do besides all the hard work that you have been doing. And it also helps you to stay motivated. Now, there's a downside to these seeds we've planted, and if we don't take care of it, if we don't plant more seeds and we don't look at the future to see what we can bring into it, things will start to fall apart, as what you've been working on will feel like it's not working, it's not bringing forth the fruit, and it's definitely not giving you what you've wanted. So if we stop planting the seeds, we will not keep the momentum going. You cannot just plant one set of seeds for this season and forget about every other season that's coming. We have to continuously plant every single plant for each season of our lives. We will gain momentum. But if we don't, we are going to lose momentum. And when we're not setting these new goals or envisioning new opportunities, we run the risk of losing our progress. We run the risk of not thriving. We run the risk of not moving forward. And that will leave you more stuck than before. You have to key into this momentum where if you plant daily seeds, you will have a harvest for many, many seasons to come. And it's those small seeds that help us to bring forth a direction, as all of those things that come to life go in the direction of your goal and dream. And if it doesn't, you need to change direction. You need to see where erosion is taking place, where things need to be replanted, trimmed, tuned, fed, and fulfilled. And we need to do these things by seeing the opportunities right at our doorstep. We so often want to go far and beyond to see what is out there when the opportunities are around you. They are there. You need to awaken to these opportunities and see where they can align with you, how they can find a connection to what you are growing. And when that connection happens, you'll see something beautiful come together. It would be lovely to have a garden with one type of seed. It's like having a long, stretched out lawn. But if you have flower beds and you have an archway and you have a fence and you have windows and a home and all these pathways and things, the garden becomes interesting. And so too does your life and the things you bring forth. Don't be so rigid that you don't have a space to create these beautiful things. And all of these things can work together at the same time. You don't have to neglect everything else and focus on this little thing, or neglect the little things and focus on this big problem you have. You have to have a balance between finding new seeds, planting new seeds, and reaping the harvest of those seeds that you planted. So, taking care of all of these things will help you to live in a way where there's always something to look forward to. There's always something that motivates you to get up in the morning and see how the cycles of life are growing the seeds that you've planted. If I look back at my calendar a year ago and all the dreams I had then, I could literally mark them off and know that I was on my path almost every single day of the year. Yes, there were days that I fell off the wagon and forgot to take care of things and just didn't feel like planting new seeds. I didn't feel like picking up the phone, talking to people. I didn't feel like sending out emails. I didn't feel like going out and making a difference. But I did it. I did it because I needed the connection to what I was growing. And if I'm the one that's responsible for that, then I will also be the one reaping the benefits. And the same is true for you. If you start taking action in growing this beautiful thing you want to bring to life, then you need to start taking those smaller actions to get yourself there. And you're the one that needs to nurture that. You are the one that needs to put the cycles in motion. And when you do, you will see that constant flow of give and take and sowing and reaping. And you'll be there at the forefront, witnessing this beautiful life coming together. The last point I want to focus on is if things start falling apart, we become reactive. We react to stress, we react to life, we react to the smallest things in the biggest ways. And even a comment could upset your entire day if you are not in a place where you can deal with that. If you are overstressed, that is impossible to deal with. But if you're relaxed and you've centered your mind and you know exactly where the next step is, then you are, of course, conscious. And not only conscious, but consciously aware of being proactive instead of reactive. And when we are proactive, we live without overwhelm, of course, but we always know how to prevent the bad things from happening and the negative things from creeping in. And because we are proactive and mindful and have these creative problem-solving strategies at our hand, we know how to deal with stress and the things life throws at us. So it's this continuous renewal of your resources, your input, your seeds, and also making sure you go throughout this beautiful garden you've planted, this beautiful thing in your mind, this beautiful life you are living, and seeing, where am I neglecting something? Where am I spending too much time? Where am I over focusing my attention? And how can I pick at the thing I really need today and make sure that thing grows and grows into what I want? All right. That's it from me for today's 15-minute mindset magic. I hope you'll join me next week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.